creating records, summarizing meetings, and analyzing case history. If you work in advocacy or case management, you know that the administrative work can often feel heavier than the actual work of supporting people, your clients, what you're passionate about. Most of us spend hours every day doing this type of lower value, repetitive work. But what if you could delegate that entire administrative burden to a digital assistant that understands your organization's principles as well as you do, so you can elevate yourself to spend more time on the value add work, working with the client and supporting them on their journey as an example. Today, I'm showing you Agentforce. I've built a case management agent from scratch to show you how we can move from manual entry to strategic oversight. First, I'm going to show you exactly what it can do in a real advocacy scenario, and then I'll break down the architecture so you understand what's happening in the background to allow for this to work. So let's get on to the demo. So here we are in our demo org. And as you can see, we've got a couple of objects that you'll recognize from Nonprofit Cloud. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got the interaction summaries. Then we've got the care plan here as well. And then within the care plan, we've got care plan tasks. Next thing we'll do, I'm going to open up the agent here. So this is our case management assistant. And I'm going to pop that note in that I've written down, scribbled down on the way back. So I want to add this as an interaction summary. Here are the details. And I'll give that to the AI. And it's going to analyze this for us and bring it back to us in a nice template. So you can see here, this is the title, this is the time that it took place. These are also pick lists that use global value sets. And what I want the AI to do here is, rather than trying to force a value into that and it will fail, is to go have a look at this and then analyze what you think the output should be. So in type, it was in person because we went to their place of residence. And then client support, that's the purpose. So it's recognizing what are the pick list values that are available, looking at the meeting note itself, and then saying, I think this is the one that we should use. And then it's also summarized that meeting note as well. So what we'll do now is please enter this. Great. And now we've got NDIS support, Jordan's application assistance, which is great. That's exactly what we wanted. The next thing that we want to do, imagine that the client has come to us and we've got a fair number of intake interaction summaries here, and it goes to the advocate and it becomes allocated. And we want to create a care plan for that person, which might take a little while. The advocate will need to run through all the interaction summaries and go through the history. But what we're going to do instead is get artificial intelligence to review the case for us and get it to suggest what the care plan might look like. So I'll ask it, can you suggest a care plan for this case? And it's going to develop the care plan for us. And it will give the care plan description. And then these will be the care plan tasks that it will create for us. So it's recognized that there's 3 tasks that we need to carry out. And there's the care plan. So I think that looks great to me because we've only got a few interaction summaries. Of course, it'll come up with around 10 if it's a lot more complex. So I'll tell it now, let's create the care plan. And that's great. It's recognized the correct topic and actions to carry out here. And now when we go into the care plan, we can see this one's just been created. And in here, we've got the care plan description. So the first paragraph over here gets put into the care plan description in that parent record. And then over here, it's created those 3 items as care plan tasks. It's put in who it's assigned to, that's the case owner, so we can update that if we want to. When's the due date and what's the task description that needs to happen. It's also phased these over a couple of weeks. And again, when you're building your agent, you can tell it to put them in on the same day or over the course of a few weeks, depending on what work might need to take place. But that's a great first start. So that's the care plan that we've got. Now what we want to have a look at is, maybe we've been given a case where the care plan already exists and there's loads of interaction summaries and we want to get an overview of it. So we're going to ask our case management assistant again to do an audit of the case and provide us a summary. And what it's doing here is it's looking at all of the different fields within the interaction summaries, the care plan, and the case itself. And it's going to give us an overview of what's happened, a summary of the case, if there's any inconsistencies between what we've discussed, and then also what's the care plan status. So the one we've just created here, we can see they're all in the new phase, and this is the name of the task that needs to happen. And we can also dig in deeper here to find out if there's anything else that we need to do. So that's analyzing the case for us as a handover. And the final thing that I'll show you is we've grounded this in a document called Advocacy Principles. So we want to go and visit this client and I want to be thinking about risk planning. So I'm going to ask it to give me a hand with risk planning, and it's going to reference that document and it's going to come back to us and say, these are the things that I recommend that you do during the visit, post-visit, and any other considerations as well. And it's also given us the source. So section 3 of that Advocacy Principles document the home visit section. It's got all of this detail from there and it's given that advice to us. And now we can go and speak to someone about this just to confirm that that would be their way forward as well, if we're still not sure if that's correct or not. So how do we actually build this? To understand Agentforce, I want you to stop thinking about software and start thinking about employing a new colleague. The topics, the position description, these are the jobs to be done. When you hire a new team member, you don't just say, do work. You give them a position description with specific jobs to be done. In Agentforce, this is what we call a topic. A topic is the high-level boundary of what the agent is allowed to do, how they do it. For our demo, one of the jobs was care plan support. By defining this topic, we're telling the agent, your focus is care plans and care plan tasks, and this keeps the agent focused on that as part of their job. Then we move on to the actions. So these are the tools of the trade. If the topic is the job description, then the actions are the tools that you put in their hands so that they can actually do the job. So one of these is flows, another is Apex. These are the manual skills. When the agent needs to create a record or calculate a date, it reaches for a flow or a piece of Apex code we've already written. Then there's the prompt templates. This is the guidance. It's how we teach the agent to speak in our voice, ground it in relevant data, and follow our specific rules, like ensuring an advocacy summary is compassionate and not just clinical. Then the final part of the puzzle is the JSON and the data. This is how the employee reads the office filing system or the agent. It ensures the agent can take a messy sentence and turn it into a clean data point in Salesforce to allow the flows and the Apex to create the records as an example. While we use the case management example today, this logic is universal. You can apply these same architectural principles to support your sales team with lead qualifications or donor management team with personalized outreach. The goal is to move from being a doer of the tasks to being an agent architect. If you have a specific use case you're trying to solve for, I'd love to hear about it. Send me an email at the address in the description box below, or put a comment in the comments box below, and we can talk further about how to bring this to your organization. And if you're ready to start building, subscribe for more weekly deep dives and watch my other video linked to at the top, where I talk about how to mitigate some of the risks of implementing AI in your business and also using it personally. So, see you on the next one, and thank you for watching.